Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. So, Justin Timberlake. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, let me get into this. I know some of y'all were mad because I did not upload a review last night. But listen, I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I told y'all I was not supporting the NFL. I haven't supported the NFL since the Colin Kaepernick mess started. I enjoyed and I went to the DC car show and got to ride in all the little cool cars and stuff like that. It was dope. Then when I came home, I watched This Is Us, which is such a stressful show to watch because it hits so close to home. Like, a lot of the stuff that's happening in the show has happened in my own life, so every time I'm watching, I'm like, yo, is this my life on TV? Is somebody spying on me and writing about it? Like, it freaks me out a bit. But anyway, so I finally watched the Justin mess on social media. And so here's my 2 cents. On the performance, if I rated it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it about a 6. I just don't think it was anything memorable. By the way, this is not a review of the performance. I'm only about to talk about his performance for like another minute, and I'm going to get to my real issue I have with Justin. But the performance as a whole, it was like a 6 to me. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It was just there. It was forgettable to me. The highlights of his performance were the band. Literally. And that was towards the end of the performance. It was when the band really started cranking it. But there was nothing memorable about the performance. And my thing is this, for Justin to have so much riding on his shoulders, because you know half of Black America is pissed off with him, the other half of Black America didn't care. We got Soul Train syndrome. As long as somebody can sing and dance or do something entertaining, y'all just don't hold nobody accountable. But you know, so you had, you know, all that on your shoulder. You have a lot of people pissed off that, you know, you're performing and, you know, Janet Jackson was not invited back and this, that, and the third. I thought Justin would really, really come in. Bring it, bring it, like not give anybody a reason to ever doubt him again as a performer. And he didn't do that. The performance was just there. He didn't look like he didn't even have energy. But I've always said anyway that Justin to me was never really that great of a performer visually. I think when he's sitting down at the piano and, you know, he has the horn section and stuff, that's kind of his lane. But when it comes to him, you know, just moving around the stage, I can't sit there. It's just, there's nothing memorable about it. I think he's actually a better performer when he's with NSYNC. Like in his younger days when it was them as a group and they were performing, he seemed to have more energy. But when he performs as if he's not hungry for it. You know what I mean? He just performs like he's going with the motion. So the performance, it had a few high points, but it was just like, yeah, dang, you know what, y'all, all this shady stuff. And then what made the funny part, I'm going to get to the karma, because for that the fact that it ended up being the lowest rated halftime show performance as far as viewership in almost 8 or 9 years just goes to show you. See, that's what happens. See, when you do clownery, NFL and sponsors and everybody else who put together that show, and y'all just thought it was such a great idea to get Justin in there because you're like, oh, this would be great. This should really ruffle some feathers. It certainly did, because y'all didn't get the viewership you should have got. Okay, 106 million people. Okay, that's a lot. But you know, there's, you know, Katie was what, 117. I think Madonna was 115. Beyonce was 113. Like, all of them was putting some big numbers. So we was like, Justin, what you doing? I thought you was going to break records. Anyway, let me get to my real beef I have with Justin. The beef that I have with Justin at the moment is that Justin is just disrespectful. And Justin refuses to accept and acknowledge that everything that he has at the moment and everything that has got him to where he is at this point is because of Black people. And so by that, I need him to start respecting the Black people who have helped him get to where he is. Specifically Prince. Indirectly. The issue that I have with this whole Prince situation is not even about this Super Bowl, because I can come back to that, but the fact that this man went and had an album release party or album listening party at Prince's house when he knows Prince didn't rock with him. He knows Prince didn't like him. And on top of that, he dissed Prince 2 times, at least twice. Okay, we all know when Justin came out with the Future Sex Love Sounds album, you know, Sexy Back was the song, and he, you know, Justin came out there, you know, I'm bringing Sexy back, and Prince was like, Sexy really never left. Rather than Justin looking at it as Prince pretty much speaking for everybody from Prince's era, just saying, yo, to be really honest, this music industry is kind of fickle. What you're doing right now, we've already been doing. Sexy never went anywhere. We're already doing this, but because the industry now ages us out because we're over the age of 35 and we're considered has-beens to the masses and the 17-year-olds, we're no longer getting that same exposure, and our music is no longer being respected in that same realm. And now here you come doing literally exactly what it is we do. You're pretty much a carbon copy of somebody like a Prince, somebody like a Michael, and you're getting all the accolades for it. So for you to come out here talking about you bringing Sexy back, you're really not doing anything that we weren't already doing. So we need you to humble down and not try to be cocky and take credit for something you didn't create. That's what Prince was trying to nicely say. And so Justin, rather than being humble and just taking that, because he was already on thin ice with black people because of the Super Bowl that just happened 2 years earlier, or at least half of black people, because the other half, I told you, Soul Train syndrome. As long as Justin got to go T and can dance, it's cool. He was like, oh no, you're not gonna diss me, Prince. So he gets on that Timberlake song to give it to me. If sexy never left, why is everybody on my... Really? Okay. All right, Justin, you comfortable? You cocky today. Bit cocky. Okay. You got it, Justin. It's your world. We just living in it. And then on top of that, you fast forward some months later, Prince had won a Golden Globe for a contribution he made to a movie, but Prince wasn't there, so Justin had to accept the award on his behalf. And Justin decided, well, let me go ahead and mock how short Prince is. Prince couldn't be here, so I'll accept this award on his behalf. And, all the white people in there laughing. I was like, you disrespectful little motherfucker. Like, here's the beef that I really have. Okay, because I could really do a whole spiel on the Justin and Janet piece, but I think I've beat that dead horse enough times on this channel, so I'll pause the Janet Jackson. But actually, no, I'm going to come back to it. Here's the thing, Justin. Again, like I said, literally everything that made you Justin Timberlake is because of black people. So here's the quick Janet Jackson pun and I'll move on. Okay, if it were not for the fact that Janet Jackson let your group NSYNC open up for her on her Velvet Rope tour when she was on the European leg, NSYNC might have never made it to the United States to even get that exposure. If you remember the history of a group like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, they were marketed over in Europe first to test the markets to see how they would do. And if they were successful enough, then they'd bring them to the United States and let them go. That's why when it comes to NSYNC's first album, a lot of people don't really quite remember it. It sold like 10 million albums, but most of those albums were not from the United States. It was what the Europeans were buying because they ate them up. And so long story short, when they came out with that first album, Janet Jackson was the say-all be-all in '98. And so she went on her Velvet Rope tour. It was the perfect way to introduce NSYNC to a new audience because Janet Jackson at that point was the shit overseas as well. And she was the hottest ticket in town. So by bringing up NSYNC and being, getting that endorsement by somebody like Janet Jackson automatically opens doors for them. And so the success of that leg of the tour in Europe helped to open the doors for them to be introduced into the United States. Okay, that's one. Okay, she also helped Usher as well. Usher got to open for her on the United States leg, but Usher was already, the thing is, everybody works together. It works in your favor when you do right by people. And so, one, Janet Jackson pretty much indirectly is the reason why you're even still in the business. But really, when it comes to it, Justin Timberlake's entire image, sound, all of it is pretty much a carbon copy. It started out as a carbon copy of Michael, and then it transitioned into Prince. Started out with Michael Jackson. If you remember Like I Love You, it was pretty much, well, one, Pharrell Williams and Timberlake are his main producers. Black individuals. Again, remember how I said black people just keep doing everything for this man? And so, Pharrell Williams initially had Like I Love You for Michael Jackson's Invincible album, but Michael was like, I'm good. I'm working with Rodney Jerkins right now. I don't want it. And so it went to Justin, and Justin was like, oh, I'll take it. And so, Justin already had a little bit of street cred with us because why? NSYNC came out with the Celebrity album and it knocked. It had the real R&B influenced songs like Gone and Girlfriend. We like that stuff. And then they performed at the VMAs. They brought out Michael Jackson. So now you got street cred with the black people. Justin had did his cornrows thing for a little bit and had to go T. So y'all love Justin. And so, Justin pretty much his whole sound was us. Rock Your Body also initially for Michael. Michael was like, I'm good, I'm going to do my own thing. And so Justin got that. But going back to Prince, because this is really what it's about, I just found it so disrespectful that he had a freaking album release party at Prince's house. One, I'm pissed that so many people are exploiting the mess out of Prince and doing everything he asked y'all not to do when it came to his legacy. But to go and release your album and have a whole party at this man's house when he didn't like you, when you were pretty much a carbon copy of this man and had the nerve to mock him publicly just because you felt that at the moment you were hot and he was considered a has-been. Now you want to have an album release party at this man's house? Can you imagine what it was like to be Prince and hear a carbon copy of yourself on the radio and then they talking shit at the same time and they ain't even doing what you do as well as you do it, but they swear to God that they're the greatest, and because the masses pretty much a sheep of the radio, and whatever the radio spoon feeds us, we'll eat up. You're just watching all that. That's why Prince was always like, I don't rock with this industry, because that's exactly what happens. And so Prince, I just found it so disrespectful. So then we get to this performance in this tribute. Now, I understand that the Super Bowl halftime show was in Minneapolis. Cool. I understand. But Justin Timberlake shouldn't have been the person to do a tribute. If they wanted to really do a tribute, actually, if Justin, I'd let him have it. If he wanted to pay homage, cool. But really what Justin, all he needed to really do was say, can we have a quick moment of silence for Prince? Boom. They put up the purple flashlights, and then you go on with the performance. That's really all he needed to do. Because again, Prince didn't rock with him, so he doesn't need to be the spokesperson for Prince. And on top of that, when Prince died, I don't remember Justin saying a whole lot. He might have said a tweet or two, but I don't remember Justin at any of the other tribute performances or anything like that. Hell, even Madonna did a Prince tribute, and I don't know how that was arranged, and that's no diss to Madonna, but it was kind of like, okay. And hell, they done fooled Stevie Wonder. They done rolled him over there. He thought he was at the BET Awards. He didn't know he was at the whatever award show that was where they did that tribute, because that could have been another video, but I left it alone. I was like, y'all tried to make the argument that Madonna and Prince were musical peers and friends, and that's why she was selected and she would bring in the ratings. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to argue. Whatever. It's not even that deep. But, you know, I don't remember Justin being and doing any of these tributes. And it's like, when you're disrespectful to somebody while they're alive, don't try to get on the bandwagon now that they're dead. And so that was my thing. Going back, Justin's entire existence, you know what I mean, is like, it's a carbon copy of what Prince had already did. And Michael. And I mean, a lot of entertainers. That's a lot of entertainers. Hell, even my shit sounds like Prince. But like, the thing is, you're disrespectful with it. And now you're riding this man's coattails and trying to, you know, pretty much utilize this man's legacy to push your new album that's coming out, which will probably sell a bunch of records and everybody will go and buy it. And hell, the karma's kicking in though, because the reviews are not that great from what I've heard. All right, I listened to it myself. I'm not moved. I think he's had much better work in the past. But yeah, the critics are panning the album. The critics have panned your Super Bowl performance. Your Super Bowl performance also was rated very low as far as viewership. It's just not a good week for you. But it's like, see, karma kicks in. The ancestors are kicking that ass now because you done sat there and did all this foul stuff, and it's catching up with you. And people are starting to recognize maybe Justin is not as hot as we thought he was. And see, that's why he should have humbled down. He spent especially 2006, 2007, that man was so cocky, you couldn't tell him shit. He swore up and down that he was just the savior to the industry. And then when he comes out with the next album, the 2020 Vision, whatever that was, which it was a decent album, it was actually okay. I'm like, okay, now you want to steal Robin Thicke's sound, because let's be honest, when I heard Suit and Tie, I was like, this is a Robin Thicke song. This isn't something Justin would have came out with. Robin Thicke at the time, before he was trying to be a pop crossover act, was still one of the few little white acts that specifically stayed in R&B. White people did not even like Robin Thicke for the longest. He had all these R&B little hits that caught on, and y'all were not paying attention to him until Blurred Lines came out. So when Justin came out with Suit and Tie, I'm like, why are you trying to steal Robin's sound? You already know you have a pop audience. They're going to buy anything you do. Go ahead and do your little Justin Timberlake Prince ripoff. Why are you trying to do the Robin Thicke sound? And so I'm just like, you know, this man is so cocky, but yet, when you take away the Pharrells and the Timberlands and everybody else, what does Justin have? That's all I'm asking. Because before black people came into the picture, Justin Timberlake was on Star Search and cowboy boots. And now all of a sudden, he's, what is he, man of the woods? He want to be the Browning paper towel man now and all this other stuff. And so I'm like, okay. So when I watched the performance, I thought that's what he was going to portray. But I'm like, you're still doing the black people thing on this performance. You walking around swag down. We going to do what? But then you got on Make America Great Again camouflage pants and I don't know what kind of shirt. I'm confused. You don't even know your own image or what it is that you're trying to portray. And see, that's what happens when you're not artistically innovative. When everybody else has crafted everything else for you, you don't even know who you are as an artist. Now, don't get me wrong. Justin Timberlake can write, he can produce, he can play instruments. He has a lot of talents. The problem is, Justin Timberlake doesn't know his own image because his entire image has always been that. His entire image has always been a carbon copy of what black people were doing. There is nothing Justin Timberlake has ever done that I haven't already seen before. Because if we really want to get into it, y'all may think I'm crazy. I really feel like he stole Genuine's image on top of what happened with Prince. Genuine pretty much was that perfect blend of like a Michael Jackson and a Prince, but on an R&B level. He never quite crossed over into the pop world. And then Justin kind of came and kind of, it just, to me, it seems like he kind of borrowed a bit. Justin has borrowed from many people. And so, anyway, with that being said, I just find it disrespectful that this man had the album release party at Prince's house. Prince didn't like you. You weren't invited to the table. Y'all don't have no pictures together. Prince doesn't even recognize you, does not mention you. Why are you trying to pretend that you and him are friends? Why are you having a release party at this man's house? Why are you doing an entire tribute and then you gonna remix the man's song and try to make it sound like trap, which I think Prince probably choked in his grave twice hearing that. It's just like, you know what? I can't. And again, I understand it was Minneapolis and Minneapolis is Prince's city. Cool, but it's just like, you should have brought out some people Prince actually rocked with, okay? Because Prince would let you know who he liked. Now, I will be fair, Prince didn't like a lot of people, but listen, everybody knew Prince loved Janelle Monáe. If you wanted to tribute Prince, hell, you could have just brought Janelle Monáe out to do a verse or two of a song and go home. Prince loved Esperanza Spalding. Could have brought her out. She could have brought out the cello and the harp and then been on her merry way. You could have brought out Alicia Keys. I mean, she, he loves Alicia as well and everything. You could have brought her out. She would have did a little something. There's a lot of different entertainers that he really enjoyed. But of course, because Justin felt that he's Justin and he can carry an entire show by himself and he'll just do the Prince tribute himself as well, it's just like, look what happened. Your performance got panned. Your album's getting panned. A lot of people are starting to see you for what you really are. And see, had Justin Timberlake humbled down, I think people wouldn't be as harsh on him, but he's always been cocky all these years. And even though I think he's a humble person now, it's like, nah, you did so much clownery, now it's coming back to bite you. So the stuff you did with Janet, the fact that you let 12 whole years go by, you have yet to even publicly apologize to this woman. And I understand, I don't care if it was planned, if it was not. I don't care if Janet told him, rip my breast off. Either way, you both should have got punished the same way. But that stuff with Janet Jackson happened. I could do a whole video about all the shit he did to Britney Spears and all the public mockery he made of her and all this other stuff. And you knew the girl had a certain image where they were trying to push her out to be the nice little virginal girl, and you wouldn't expose the fact that she was no longer a virgin, which, oh my God, the soccer moms lost their minds. All right? You put out all her sexual business and all stuff like that, then Cry Me a River was the shit, I'm not gonna lie. That was my video. But that was fucked up what you did, having the Britney decoy in the video. Alright? All of that. And then you cheated on Jessica Biel and all that. Like, he got so much stuff going on. He ain't shit. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on Justin. Y'all enjoy his album. Y'all tell me whether you like it or not. I know you Justin fans want to fight me. It is what it is. I'm sorry I don't like him. Justin's not going to lose no sleep. Justin will still sell his millions of copies. He will still sell out this tour that he's about to go on. He will still be Justin Timberlake, and y'all will still continue to try to push him off as this innovative artist that he's not. And it's cool. I'm just saying I don't rock with him. If you're going to be a carbon copy of all these different entertainers, pay them their respects. I also think it's fucked up that he was on that Michael Jackson song. Because Michael Jackson stopped rocking with Justin after the Super Bowl happened with Janet. And for them to put Justin on the song after Michael died with the Love Never Felt So Good remake, I'm just like, y'all, Justin should have been like, you know what, thank you for the honor, but, his sister, I did some messed up stuff to her, and he really didn't rock with me after that. I think I'm going to pass on this song. Why don't y'all let Usher do it? Why don't you let somebody else take it? And Justin's like, nah, I'm just in. So anyway, I'm out. Subscribe, share your 2 cents. If you're mad and you hated everything I said in this video. Anyway. Oh, also, is he still invited to the cookout? I told y'all to stop inviting everybody, but I think y'all got him to the cookout. Y'all let me know if Justin's in the cookout or not.